And this is Monte Walker. We're joined here with Austin Haley, a four-time All-Texomaland, Howe Bulldog, quarterback, point guard, shortstop, pitcher, safety, whatever else you want him to do. Thanks for joining us, Austin.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
So before you were even a student at Howe High School, before you even had a class in the classroom, you were already named starting quarterback. What was that like as your freshman
That
year?
was pretty crazy. So I remember we were at a 7-on-7 in Bonham, and Coach Lynch, our offense coordinator at the time, he brought me over to the varsity side and was watching me, throw the 7-on-7 around and throwing the football around. And, I think I went 7 drives. We had 6 touchdowns out of those 7 drives. And he came up to me and said, "Can you take a hit?" I said, "If that's what you need me to do, I can." And he said, "All right, you're the quarterback then." And then from then on, it was crazy. It was an awesome experience, that's for sure. So.
In that year, later on in the year, and we got to watching you. And of course, I've known I've known your abilities for a long time, but you were able to just make some crazy daredevil passes, back foot throws, and and we started calling you the Jedi, like you had some kind of Jedi issue. And then the Van Alstyne, we had a promo for the Spike Wars, I think it was,
Yes,
and you were kind of the star of that promo as the young Jedi. What was the whole Jedi thing like for you?
Man, it was crazy. I remember seeing the video for the first time and, kind of getting heckled and stuff about it because, I'm this 14-year-old kid that just got thrown into it. But honestly, I loved it, man. I mean, it was kind of like a pressure thing, but I love the pressure and love getting to go through it and all that stuff. So, I remember when we played that game, we only ended up losing by about 12 points. And I think the year before, we got blown out. And so that was a pretty cool experience to, get to actually have a ball game against that team. And then they moved up, into 4A. And so, that was a very cool experience. And now it's kind of carried on even till today. I still get called the Jedi in school and people mess around with me, pulling out lightsabers and all this stuff.
Yeah, so you've incorporated that into the basketball thing, right?
Yep, that's our pregame handshake. We do our little back and forth, and then it's a little 3 lightsaber hits, and that's what we've made it into. So.
What was it like as a 14-year-old in that locker room that first year? How was it difficult? I mean, we're talking about almost grown men in there. 14-year-old is a lot different than 18.
It is. There was a bunch of kids that took me in. So I got taken under kids' wings, a lot of those seniors, they just took me with them, like I could go on. Basically all of them, man, and I loved it, and I couldn't have asked for a better group, honestly. They were a fun group. They loved to have fun, and they made me. I was always, the little shy kid, but they took me on their wing, and I, learned how to, be able to be myself around them, and have fun, and become a family with them. So
Carson Daniels was a shy kid too.
Oh yeah,
what'd they do to him?
Man, I don't know. They turned him around. He used to be, wouldn't talk, straight face. Now, that man, he's cracking jokes. He's one of the funniest dudes I know, and it's awesome, though.
4-time All-Texomaland by the Herald Democrat in 3 different sports, and you're not even a senior yet. We're going into your senior year. That's pretty impressive. Talk about that.
So, I just love to compete. I've said it, in interviews before. That's just my thing. I love sports, and I love the opportunity to get to play. So whenever I do something, my thing is I'm gonna do it to the best of my ability, and whatever I can do to help my team to win. And if that comes with these awards, then that comes with these awards. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna contribute the most I can to where I give our chance to the best team to win. And that's kind of at the end of the day, I guess these awards come with it, but I just want to win. That's basically my goal at the end of the day.
So when you were a kid, a lot of people have seen these YouTube videos, the trick shot videos and all of that.
Yes.
Pretty cool stuff. How long did it take you to actually, was that like 4 days put together into one, or was that real stuff?
So actually, I remember it was probably 2 hours before we were going to leave for something. It was like a dinner, and it was cold outside. I was bored. the first video, like the first little clip, that was a different day. It was like probably 30 degrees outside, freezing. I had 2 boxes. I'd set my phone up on the first box and then have it leaning up against the back box, and I'd press record, and I just have it going. And that first one I made first try, and so then I just stopped it. And then like the other day, we had like a couple days later, we had like 2 hours before we were going to do something. I was like, I'm going to make this video. I'm going to finish it. And then in that 2 hours, I was just recording it, and I made those shots, and then I put all those videos in this like editing app, and I edited it all together and just put the clips together, and then I made that video. So
pretty amazing stuff.
Ended up pretty iconic to this day. So that's awesome.
Yeah, I think your new head coach tweeted out, not everybody's quarterback has a trick shot video.
Yes, he did. Because my dad was like, I'm gonna send this to him, and then 10 minutes later, I just see a tweet about it, and I was like,
"That's awesome."
So
well, let's talk about your family a little bit. I'll give you a chance to talk about mom and dad and brother.
Yeah. So my dad, he's been my hero, man. He's taught me everything from being a respectful young man and how to treat people right, and how I should want to be treated, and I should treat people how I would want to be treated. And he's taught me about just going through adversity and everything like that with sports, and he's helped me through the adversity too, because we've had to deal with it a lot here in Howe. It's been a bunch of up and downs, but yeah, man, he's been my hero. And then I get to see my mom. She is the hardest working person I've ever met. She's always working, and she loves it, and she loves what she does, and she puts her heart and soul into her job, and that's how I want to be towards what I'm doing, and that's why everything I do, I want to do the best that I can because of her. And that little brother, man, he is one of a kind. You should see him swing the golf club. It's crazy, and he's smart, man. He's number 1 in his class. He works hard. He's a hard worker too, and he's respectful, and I'm very proud of him and the work. I mean, the other day we actually went and played 18 holes, me and Talon, at the golf course. He whooped me, that's for sure. But man, it's a brotherly thing. We love each other, and I love my whole family with my whole heart. And I'm ready to see what Talon can do on the golf course. That's for sure, because he's gonna be special. He's up there every day at the golf course working. And if he's not, he's in his room doing putting drills. He's always working at it. So I don't know. I love my family though, that's for sure. And they keep me going, no matter what. They keep me going.
Is he as competitive as you? Does he hate to lose as much as you?
He does. Except when it's me. Me and him, we'll be playing wiffle ball. He doesn't play baseball, but
he did, and he was good.
He could be good, yeah. But he's a golfer. We'll be playing wiffle ball in the backyard, and if I'm winning or something, it's like the 3rd inning, like top 3rd. We usually play like 3-inning games. You can tell he'll start firing them in there, and then like if I'll hit one, he'll get that mad face on him, and so no, he's very competitive, that's for sure. We're all competitive. We'll be sitting there playing card games at dinner, having a family night, and it gets crazy, that's for sure.
So talking about the competitiveness, last year in a post-game interview after the Weatherford Christian game, that was a game that you were expected to win. You had a post-game interview with Caroline, and you said,
we have to learn how to win. People just don't know how to win and have the mentality of winning. Talk
about last year at that moment and how discouraged were you?
Yeah, so that game, it was kind of like we got into halftime and we were up, 20-14. I remember it. And it was like we were satisfied with that, right? The year before, we weren't even close to winning, right? And we went into halftime and we were up, and it was like we were satisfied. And then people just left the gas, and it was like and the whole year it was like we didn't know how to close it out. There was games we went up in range. We were up in Commerce, or we were right there in Commerce, and when I said we don't know how to win, it was just in the fact that we just, as like a culture together, we haven't learned yet how to close out wins. And this year, I think that's going to be a big thing for us, is we are going to close out big W's, big games, big close games too. And that's what we're going to have to learn, because I think basketball, baseball, that has been a kind of stepping point for us, because basketball, we had close games all year in district, and the second half, we swept the second half of district. We went to playoffs playing really well, ended up playing number 1 team in the state, But I think that changed it around. We went into baseball, played close games, made big wins to get into the playoffs. And I think coming around for football this year, I think we've got some guys that have been a part of that, and that it's gonna change it around, change the culture around into a winning culture here. And I'm excited for it. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun.
No, I think you hit the nail on the head there with the other sports kind of acting as stepping stones for that culture. And one of those moments was Haley nailed it at the buzzer.
Going straight to the bucket, a pass underneath. Wilson, Haley for three. He's good! He nailed it! He nailed it at the buzzer! Haley nailed it at the buzzer! Haley nailed it at the buzzer! 33-30!
So the big shot and gunner, and we knew that was going to be a classic game and a pivotal game as far as how the season went, and it turned out to be that way. That moment, how big was that for you?
That moment, I mean, it was huge. Honestly, that game, I wasn't having my best game. We all weren't having our best game, but we had a Bulldog mentality that whole game, that we were going to win that game. We didn't have our best stuff. We weren't making all our shots. But that's a part of learning how to win. You're not going to have your best stuff every game. I might have had 2 points up to the overtime. Like I was missing shots, but at the end of the day, you got to stay confident in your abilities, and that's what I did. I hit the little floater, and then it put us up by 2, and then they came down and scored, and then Coach Forsythe drew up a big play, and it kind of it didn't end up going the way it happened. It just fell into my hands, but we as a team, we learned that year on how to win, even when we didn't have our best stuff. And it was awesome to come together as a family like that.
Does this basketball season, that moment, the playoffs, does that kind of put an end to the Aaron Pitt moment in White Wright the year before? Because that was so devastating.
That was, oh man, that was something for sure. We're always going to remember that. But, I think it just stinks because that year they ended up going like 3 rounds deep and all this, and that could have been us, know. But at the end of the day, I believe everything happens for a reason. Kind of lit a fire in us, and this year we had an amazing year. If we wouldn't have played the number 1 team in the state, who knows?
Right.
We would have went a few rounds deeper.
Entering your senior year, your first 3 years, you've had a lot of head coaches in all these sports. You've had Bill Jailing, you've had Mike Zagleski, you've had Ryan Moreau, Jay Forsythe, Cody Nitson, and now Lance Bryan. That's a lot of head coaches and a lot of different words coming from different people in different sports. How do you manage that?
Honestly, all of those guys, I love them all. They have been great coaches, no matter what's happened over the years and our wins and losses. It doesn't matter. They're all amazing guys, and each one of them, though, has been able to adapt with us because we have to adapt to these new coaches, but they also have to adapt to us, them being our new coaches, right? And they have done a great job, and with the new guy, Coach Brian coming in, he has done an outstanding job, I believe. He's helping, turn around this thing and really bring some energy. And he's brought in some new guys, Coach Graham, Coach Harvey, and they're bought in, and they love what they do. And so I think it's going to be a lot of fun these years with these new coaches, and we'll see how it goes. Hopefully they can stay around for a while and keep the Howe Bulldogs going.
Senior year, do you have any goals in place?
Make playoffs, go on runs, have fun, build a family. I want to build a bond with these people and make memories for sure. And I think that's coming with just being there for each other. Each play, having each other's back. Backing somebody up. They don't make a play, pick them up. And just being there for one another. And I hope to, for me personally, just like for my educational purposes, I want to make straight A's and keep going into that for my colleges and all that stuff. But as a team and for my sports, I just want to build bonds and keep building relationships that I'm going to remember forever. And hopefully that comes with a few W's every now and then. I'd hope so, but I think that's what everyone wants here.
Coach Brian, we talked a little bit about him earlier, but coming in, you've had now a chance to work with him off season and things like that. What's your feel on Coach Brian so far?
Love him. He's he came in, and during February I think is when he came in, and we get in the weight room And it is, I mean, it's like the atmosphere. We have these cards, and we have so first day, we get what our maxes are, and he gives us our cards. We go off our cards with weights, and I think from February to July, we have gained like 18,000 total pounds added onto our maxes in the high school and middle school, which is crazy. Is a crazy amount, and it's just like everyone's wanting to be in the weight room. Everyone's wanting to get into it, and I think it's been said, and I've seen a lot of videos on it. Like when you go into a football program, you can tell what kind of team they are by their weight program, right? And I think that our weight program is great right now, and we're doing some great stuff in the weight room, I believe. So
your starting center has dropped 50 pounds since his freshman year. So now I don't know if that's good or bad.
No, he's Malin, man. That dude, I've never seen a big man move like that. It's awesome. So he's gonna be great for us.
Let's talk about the 2022 Howe Bulldogs. You've got a different schedule this year. That helps out so much.
Yes, very much. That is for sure.
Knowing that the schedule in the district is a lot different, it shouldn't be as challenging. Automatically, you go into the past 2 years, you're looking at Mineola, Mount Vernon, Winsboro, and you're thinking, man, loss. How are we going to compete? This year's not that way at all. This district is more like what you grew up against in youth league and stuff like that.
Yes.
So kind of talk about how you see this season going.
Man, I think that this year, over the years, we've been actually quite a young team. And I think that we have a lot of experience, especially on our line. I think last year we only had one senior, and we're going to have everybody come back and on the line, and we're going to have, kids in the backfield with us. And pretty much, we're going to lose, like in the receivers, Elo, and they were big parts, but we have people to fill those roles. And I think, and defensively, with our coaching and the 3-4 defense that we're running, I think it's going to be good for us. I believe we can win every game. That's me. I don't care who it is. I believe we can go out there and win every game. And, I hope that by the time the season starts, everyone believes that. And I think that's a big part of it, is that we can't go into games thinking, oh, this team's so tough. We're not gonna win. We got to put our foot down no matter who the team is. You know what I'm saying? And I think everybody's going to be able to come around to that, and we're going to be pretty good.
Let's back up a little bit and talk about when you first started playing sports. Do you remember the first time you played baseball?
Yes, I do. I played, so I lived in Denison, but I played for Bells as my first time playing, and I played with some kids. I actually go to Tom B now, and a kid that goes to Bells now, and I remember playing, and actually I remember one game I don't know why I have this image. I was playing right field, and the score of that game, it was like some crazy game. It was like 28-30. It was absurd. It was, it was a little coach pitch, right? And it was like 28-30. We ended up winning that game. But no, and then I remember when I first moved to Howe, my dad, we were in the truck, and we were turning left onto like our road of our home, and he said, "Son, I think you need to play another sport." And that day is when I started playing basketball. And in that year, first grade year when I moved to Howe, I started playing basketball. And then, it kind of got me into wanting to play football. And of course, Mama wanted to wait till my 5th grade year for me to play. But I think that conversation in the car that day, it was like, I want to play everything I can, and so that's kind of led me to playing, basketball, baseball, football, and even go on the golf course every once in a while.
So 5th grade, if I remember right, I don't think you won a game in 5th grade, and you got murdered, I think, at quarterback. Is that right?
That was right. That was my first year playing.
I'm surprised Mama let you play.
Man, after every game, she'd run up, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yes, I'm okay." But I remember that year, and I remember it was like frustrating. But towards the end of the year, I remember we were playing Wyrite, and we didn't win. We scored, I think, 2 touchdowns the whole year. But I remember Carson, he had this one-handed pick against Wyrite in the last game of the year. And it was just super fun for us to go on the sideline. And then I was like, I'm gonna do this another year. Give it another year.
Well, I'm glad you went another year because I got to coach you that next year.
And that next year, we ended up being pretty good. And I thought we went 5-3 in regular season.
We should have beaten Bells.
We should have beaten Bells in the semifinals.
Game.
Yes, semifinals. Because then they ended up winning like 20-0.
Yeah.
In the championship, but we lost 12-6. I remember that game.
Yeah. I'm going to blame the offensive coordinator on that. We should have run the ball.
We should have run the ball. Yeah.
How about life after Howe High School? What are you envisioning?
Man, so life after Howe High School, I've been playing summer baseball right now, and I'm trying to find a place to go play baseball, and also I've been given the opportunity to maybe go play both somewhere, and that would be an amazing thing, honestly. And for me, I want to go into physical therapy, which is a big thing for me, just because I'm always at physical therapy, and I go to the Peak in Sherman, and I have a great relationship with the guy there. His name's Connor, and I send him a text like, "Hey, can I come up here today?" And it's awesome. I love the relationship that you build, and just being able to just help people that play sports and stuff like that, because I've been injured, hurt countless times, and that's something that I want to do, is be able to turn people's careers around. People that just being able to connect with them, like in a mental state also, because it's not easy to go through, but I love that part of it, that's for sure. So that's what I want to do after high school. So
final question. Are we going to have a cold November playoff game this year?
We are, no doubt. We're going to have it, that's for sure.
Awesome. Hey, that's Austin Haley. He will be a senior this year as a 4-year starting quarterback for the Howe Bulldogs. For everyone who's been a part of this one, I'm Monte Walker. So long, everybody.